Hi, this is Nikki Woods, and we're going beyond the studio on blackamericaweb.com. Now, Top Chef is like cult around here. It's almost cult-like with Sybil and even Tom gets into it. And now we have one of the finalists from Top Chef who is with us, Chef Tiffany Derry.
Hello, hello.
And she is the executive chef at one of our favorite restaurants, which is right across the street. And we love it, and we love you. And I think that I learned more about you probably from reading all of the stuff that they have on the web, now that you're like cult-like status, than I did from watching Top Chef. So tell us a little bit about you, how you got started. When did you know that you loved to cook?
Well, I came from a family of cooks, first of all. Like, my grandmother had 11 children, and all of them cooked. She was a single woman for the most of the time, so everybody learned. So it kind of was something that I like to say kind of just through my veins. You know, we're from Louisiana. My family is. I grew up in Beaumont, Texas. Everybody likes me to say Beaumont, Texas. And I started at IHOP. Was my first job in the culinary field.
Really?
Went there 5 years, cooked there, and then went to culinary school and decided, okay, I need to be able to pay for culinary school. So I started back working graveyard shift, which was the 8 at night to 6 a.m. 8 at night to 6 a.m. and then going to school for 6:30.
Wow.
And I didn't want to sacrifice. Like, I actually enjoyed doing like all of the activities and staging in the different restaurants. So I was like, I don't want to give up anything, so I'll give up the sleep. And that's kind of how it happened.
Something has to go.
Yeah.
And so then what pushed you to the next level then? Because I was asking you off camera, you starting as an executive chef at Go Fish at 25. And I was like, that seems kind of young to be an executive chef. And you said yes. So what pushed you to really become top in your field?
Well, it started in culinary school when there were these restaurants in Houston that were so good that like I would go to and it would just blow my mind. And then I took a trip to Paris. And when I went to Paris, Lord have mercy, it was so beautiful. Like the food, it was these deep, bright red cherry tomatoes, and the strawberries looked phenomenal. And they did like minimum to everything. It wasn't like, you know, taking this and frying it up and changing it. It wasn't even like the molecular stuff that they do now where they change all the textures of the food. It was just good food. And I was just thinking, oh my gosh, I want to do this. Like, this is what I like. I don't want to be that person that has to completely play with my food, but just to give you a product that is so pure and so clean, that tastes so good. So that was kind of like the start of it.
Really?
Yeah. It was amazing.
And so how are you able to do that here then? Is it where you get the food from?
Well,
or?
I mean, that is the biggest part. One of the things that separates an upscale restaurant from like a Chili's or TGI's, Applebee's, is the fact that our product should be superior. That is what you're paying for when you typically go in. I get fish flown in from all over. If you watch, you'll see the FedEx truck come every single day to the restaurant. I have my tuna coming from Hawaii. It's pretty amazing. We try to support local farms here, things that I can't do local from like a farm standpoint. Then there are these a little bit larger industries where the farmers actually kind of sell to the larger companies, and I get it that way.
But you get involved in protesting animals being treated badly, don't you? I was reading the menu.
And it says, okay, so that
fish don't you? What fish
sea
won't
bass.
You serve? Sea bass.
Sea bass is one of the most popular fish, and mind you, I had it on my menu as well. But I tell people, once you learn, you do better. You know, so I start to realize after reading and researching that sea bass is just so overly fished that it's ridiculous. First of all, it's the most popular fish. Okay. Most people don't know that sea bass isn't even a true bass. It's called Patagonian toothfish. It's so ugly.
Bet you didn't know that about your bass.
And it's just, we're killing the species, and there's not going to be any more left for any of, you know, our children's children. So I took a stand and said, you know, I'm not going to serve this. And I took a lot of flack from everybody. You don't have sea bass? Where's my sea bass dish? Da-da-da, because it was very popular. And I'm like, guys, you know, let's try this. This is a similar texture, you know. And now I try to bring in fish that you just don't find every day, you know, like my olive oil poached escalor. I try. I do what I can.
So what happened with Top Chef? Did you have to apply, or do they call you?
Actually, Top
or somebody
Chef
has to nominate
called
you.
me.
So they called you.
I was sitting in the kitchen. I was working in the kitchen.
Yeah, she wasn't sitting.
I wasn't sitting. No, I don't sit very much. And they said someone from Bravo's Top Chef is on the phone. I was like, whatever. You know, like, seriously, stop playing. I'm cooking. Tell them call me back after lunch. And they're like, no, I'm for real. So I get the phone. I'm like, hello. Because, you know, I'm thinking somebody playing. Hello. Y'all disturbing me. Hello. So they're like, yes, this is Bravo with Top Chef. And we would like to have you come out and do an interview process. And I said, well, honestly, right now it sounds all great. I'm kind of in the middle of a lot of things. I'm about to get married. You know, I'm planning this wedding. I'm here at the restaurant, and I'm kind of involved. And they were like, well, just come out and talk to us and see. You know, these people having to convince me to go on the show.
Right.
And I said, she said, you won't lose anything by coming. I said, you know, you're right. So I went out, I talked to them, and I just fell in love with everyone that was working with it. And I'm like, this seems so awesome. Then I went back and watched a lot of Top Chef.
I bet you did.
Yeah. So
you didn't quite make it, but you are going to be on
the All-Stars, which is the creme de la creme of all the Top Chef seasons.
And that airs
December 1st.
All right. So what's going to be after Top Chef? What are you going to do next?
I don't know. You know, I want some cooking shows. That's one of the things that I really enjoy doing. I love, and I would like a live cooking show where I'm pulling people up out of the audience. Y'all come cook with me. You know, have a good time. So
very cool. So before we go, tell us what's your number one basic for all of us who stand in our kitchens and try to cook along with you. What is your number one basic cooking tip?
Hot pan, then add your oil. Most people, when they're cooking fish, don't realize that the reason they can't cook fish properly is because it starts sticking or breaking apart. Have a hot pan. When you put the oil in, you should see just a sizzle of smoke, just a very little. Hot pan.
Hot pan.
Hot pan is a trick.
All right. Hot
not
pan
the equipment.
For your fish. All right. It's Chef Tiffany Derry. I'm Nikki Woods. We went beyond the studio on BlackAmericaWeb.com.